Joy to be back here today. For those of you who are familiar faces, it's lovely to see you, and for those of you who are new, it's wonderful to see the Billabong growing. So this ministry that I'm going to share from you today actually launched out of here from the work and the community that I was a part of when I was working here at the Billabong. It's a national organisation called ARK Australia, and we work across the country in two ways. We encourage people to step into out-of-home care or foster care, as respite carers, emergency, as support people, as people who are already caring for their grandkids or family members to come and be a part of a community. And we bring that community together. So we work to make sure that every foster family, particularly those who call themselves a Christian and are loving and have stepped into foster care with the love of God, are taken care of, are connected to each other, to become extended family for one another. Because taking care of kids is hard anyway. I've got 4 kids, and being a mum just is hard work. There's lots of early mornings, there's lots of late nights, there's lots of mess and lots of grossness. Anyone who's a parent knows that. But taking care of a child that is not biologically yours, there's a whole new realm of crisis and chaos and need for prayer and need for grace and all of those things, and it just involves a whole another level of mess in some things, but a whole nother level of joy as well. So our family has been foster carers now for about 11 years, and for those of you who have seen us, you guys took great care of us when we were here, and we were bringing in different kids week after week sometimes, or those who were a part of our family for many months or a couple of years. We have now grown our family, so we have the four of our homegrown children, and we have 2 little boys who are with us in a long-term capacity. And it's been one of those things where my heart has changed from thinking about the many who need to be cared for and loved, to thinking about the one, or in our case, the 2, who are now a part of our family for forever. These 2 little boys get me up at 5 a.m. like this morning. They crack eggs all over my kitchen floor, but they also sit next to each other on a table, and they help feed each other, because they know there's something about this 2- and 3-year-old that just know that life is hard because of all they've experienced in those early few months of their lives. But they need to show up for each other and be there and sit beside each other in the hard. So the verse I want to share with you today is I think it's written wrong on here actually, that God is a father to the fatherless, a defender of widows is God in his holy dwelling. God sets the lonely in families. So for God to set the lonely in families, he's given us this great big family, but he needs us to be a family for those who need it, who welcome a child or welcome someone outside of their neutral, normal into their lives. So we've been asked, ARK Australia has been asked and approached by Armidale CPFS to come and speak into churches to specifically recruit foster families from the churches in this area, which is an amazing, incredibly big deal. For a government organisation to say, you know what, we know things have always gone wrong in churches or have had the potential, but we know that there are good families inside these churches in this district, and we want to make them be a part of helping to change a child's life. So we have partnered with Armidale, and we are working across this area. This is, I think, the fifth church I've spoken at, and I've got a few more in the next few weeks. And we are inviting you guys to come and be a part of caring for a child. It might just be one child. It might be a respite placement. There is no such thing as just being a respite carer. Respite carers are the fun aunties and uncles who get the kids for a weekend, who get to do the activities and create the joy and the memories and give the regular foster carers a little bit of a break. I love my respite carers. They are like my favourite people. There is no such thing as being too young to step into foster care. If you are a youth or a uni student, you have a place in this system as well. There is mentoring opportunities. There's showing up at a foster family's house just to play and be with the kids, to help out, to give the parents a little break, or to show these kids that they matter and they are cared for by someone else who is more like them in lots of ways than these adults who can't always understand what's going on. So I want to ask you and invite you to come along to an information session. It's actually going to be held here on June the 17th, just in the cafe at 7 p.m. We are joining together with Unity Chapel, Thornley Church of Christ and New Spring to have, hopefully, a room full of people who are just interested in finding out more. It's not a sign up and we're going to throw a kit at you that very night. There is a process. It takes a long time. There are applications and there are necessary things that need to be done because these are children who have come from really hard places. And we want to make sure that they are not just in good families, but the families are equipped enough to be able to care for them. So if you are interested in just finding out more, can I encourage you? I didn't put my email address up there, but I'm going to throw Luke under the bus. And if you're watching online as well, if you can email Luke right now or when you get home and say, I want to be at that information session, and he will forward that along to me and I'll be able to put your details down there. But I would love to see you there. We'll have tea and coffee and all those fun things. But you will hear from the Armidale District Director and some other staff, and just to hear what it really is like to be involved in taking care of kids from hard places and how you can do that. Everyone might not be available or able to be a foster carer, but everyone has a position and a place to fulfill in taking care of kids that need it. So thank you for having me back here. Hopefully I'll see you on that Thursday night. Otherwise, come back and chat with me afterwards too.